All right, so it says we're live. So welcome back, everybody. It's October the 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you're watching this back later, by all means, leave a comment, but we may not respond being that we're live now, but we do allow our lives to record and play back. So welcome, everybody. And I see William's already asking, are we at the new property? Nope, surprise. We're on our back porch. But that picture was from the new property right there.
Not yet. We might in the future
Yep.
try that.
Go ahead and
That would
spill,
be a
go ahead and
nice
spill the
improvement.
beans here on the internet journey that we've all been on the channel for years. One of the big series I had was cellular internet. Well, I'm officially off of cellular internet, and I did just move into Starlink. So I do have Starlink stuff that just showed up. I've already been testing it. Once I found out Starlink has a roam package that you can pause, I had no idea that you could pause service. That got me very interested. So over at the new property, there's no signal. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. You can occasionally get one bar, but it's nothing we could live stream on or do anything. So the Starlink started making sense. Plus, two out of the last three hurricanes, well, our cell towers got damaged. Now they weren't down long, but so many rescuers and people moving to the area, the towers get clogged up and it really slows down the cellular internet. So for all those reasons, and especially the fact that I don't have cellular coverage at the new property, it made sense to go ahead and invest in the Starlink. So we have that now. So in the future, we very well may do a live stream over there.
We are very prepared now.
Yes, we are very prepared. Now we've got some serious
Mhm.
backup internet, but I wasn't never going to do Starlink at 120 a month, and let it just sit in the box. And we might not have a hurricane or no major outage for years. You just don't ever know. But once I found out you could just invest in the equipment and then pause the service, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And now that's something we can carry over and use at the property that's in the middle of nowhere, and that gives us an option for
Yep.
internet over there. So yeah, in the future, we very well may live stream over there. Are we going to travel over there every Sunday just to sit? Probably not. But if we're already there doing some work in and it makes sense, sure, we very well may live stream over there. I got to play around with the Starlink stuff a little more, but obviously our fiber internet here is the best stuff we can have. So that's what we're going to stick with. All right. So Todd says, what's for dinner?
Tonight we are actually cooking, so we're going to do steak tacos tonight. Just
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't
keep
know
it
why I've been thinking you were
still
doing
meat.
ground
Yep,
beef.
we're gonna do steak.
Okay.
Yep,
Oh, well, I
steak
mean, you
tacos.
can't go wrong with shaved
Yep, with
steak.
the
That's for sure.
carnivore tortilla shells. Yep.
Oh, we ain't gonna sneak no lettuce in tonight.
No,
But wow, we've
no.
already been cheating a little, and lettuce technically isn't cheating.
Come on now.
But we got some in the
I'll
refrigerator.
give you lettuce tomorrow or the next day.
I love lettuce, even though it's got like no nutritional value.
Yeah,
I like it.
we had salads today, so we did splurge a little bit. We've been craving salads since we've been on this diet.
Yeah.
So we had salads earlier today. So I'm like, I'm not getting into the lettuce tonight.
I don't care. I'm at the point, honestly, to where I'm slowly putting stuff back in my diet. I'm good to go. I know you've been trying some stuff. We got a lot of the results that we wanted out of it. And we just found out something very interesting with you. When you clear your diet completely out, you can start slowly introducing stuff and figure out things that used to bother you that you had no idea about. Because when you're putting so much food in your body and liquids all day long, you don't really know why you may have skin conditions or stuff going on. But
Exactly.
what did you just find out?
Yeah, so I found out I have a nut allergy, which I had no clue about before. Nuts never really bothered me, maybe the next day, but nothing, after eating nuts. And a couple weeks ago, I tried some like deluxe nuts from Costco that have like all the different nuts in it. And probably about 15 minutes after, it took me an hour and a half to get over it. My stomach was burning and just felt like it was going to explode. It was pretty painful.
Fever.
Yeah, I felt like I was, like, running a fever.
Yeah.
I did not feel good. And then probably about a week and a half later, I tried pistachios, and I love pistachios. I was like, "Surely these aren't gonna bother me." I've had these, occasionally here and there. Did the same thing.
Yep.
But this time, I took medicine right away, and I ended up breaking out in hives on my arms. My eyes were itchy, felt the fever, felt the stomach pain. I can't remember if there was something else that happened, but yeah. So I think the nuts are out of the question for me. I don't know.
And that's so weird. You used to be able to tolerate them,
I
although you
know.
thought they might have messed with your stomach a little. But I guess when you're consuming so much stuff, maybe it somehow hides an
Yeah, when
allergy a
you're
little.
already full of inflammation and you're already full
Yeah.
of, disease or whatever it might be in your body, then, your body just kind of deals with it. But when it's cleared out and it's clean, then it's really going to start showing you you can and cannot tolerate. So I guess it's nuts for me.
That's right. So Lauren, no, the property is nowhere near close enough that we could do anything point to point. Yeah, you're talking you're many
Yeah.
miles away. Yeah, we can't do point to point anything. So that's why the Starlink made the most sense there. And Just Me says, I love the new property. Can sit by that river all day.
Yes,
We do
I
go
do
down
too.
there and do that quite a bit.
Got me a hammock now between two trees.
Yep.
It's right on the riverbank. I love it.
Chris wants to know how Tiffany's sewing room's coming out. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way tonight. It is 100% complete, and I'm working on the video. I'm lying. I am totally lying.
Don't be like that now.
we got
That's not
we got too
right.
much other stuff going on, that's for sure. So hello Zoe. They
Hello,
said
Zoe.
she's screaming at us, and Mr. Jimmy says I'm in the box while I'm about to slip out to my four-wheeler. Well, I
All
guess you
right.
didn't get nothing then, did you, Mr. Jimmy? That's all right. A
And
day
he
in the
says
woods
that
is
he's
good.
feeling better, so that's good.
That's great. Yep. Yeah, that's right. He was down in the back last week, wasn't he? Everybody says it's good on Starlink and all the other stuff. So have I did any hunting at all and anything good on the trail camera? Says Whitetail Dave. I have not hunted at all. It's the first year I've not hunted any during bow season. Y'all, our bow season was miserable hot. I just had no desire to go. Too much mosquitoes, way too hot.
He doesn't have his AC and his hunting blind yet. That's why he didn't go.
Well, this week I needed a heater because it was in the 30s here this week, which was amazing. Now it's warming back up and going to be hot all this week, like mid to low 80s all week. This weather just cannot figure itself out. So now that it's muzzle loading and we're about to go into rifle season, yeah, I'll probably get out there. My plan was later this week to start on a food plot, but I'm probably going to have to push that to next week. And then we've got the little solar project I'm always going to do on the deer blind, which I can go out there with or without that. So yeah, we're getting there. Other reason I haven't been super excited, and yes, you should never rely on cameras. Nah, there's nothing that's gotten me excited. Those yearlings and a few little old tiny bucks that I wouldn't even go after. One of the worst years I've ever seen on camera, but some of my friends are having excellent years seeing really nice bucks. But the biggest reason is I lost the property I leased for the last 10 years
Yeah.
due to some unfortunate circumstances, of death in the family. And that's where I always really had the better looking bucks because it was deep on a swamp. So it's just kind of deflated me for this year, to be honest. But this 80 something degree weather this week's really got me deflated. We get another cool snap, it gets me really itching to go out there. So yeah, I will. But everything's kind of looking pitiful at the moment. And there's my first mosquito. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here. So yeah, Crystal, let's go ahead and acknowledge that. I have known, but I have not said anything because that is Miss Lee's business. But y'all know Miss Lee is a huge part of our YouTube family here, and she did share the unfortunate news. Her husband's been fighting a battle for quite a while, and we hate to hear it. We've been talking to Miss Lee on the side, so y'all absolutely reach out to her and what
Praying
her and
for
her
her for sure.
husband's going
I know.
through. Horrible news they just received from the doctor and what's going on there. But y'all keep that in mind. We got like a big extended family here, we always call it. So everybody reaches out and supports each other. And while we have a bunch of good times, there's a lot of people hurting and going through some things as well. So Miss Lee will definitely be thinking and praying for you. And if there's anything we can do, please let us know.
Yes.
I thought you did not work on Sundays, says Chris. We're not supposed to work on Sundays, but we somehow do a lot, which we won't call the live stream work. This is fun hangout time.
Right, exactly.
But yep, I find myself, I can't really sit inside all day long, so I find myself out doing stuff regardless. Plus, I had to go up to our state capitol today because it was something I had to go pick up, run some errands. So I did that first thing. By the way, I run into a viewer today who I've never met before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm standing in line. Some guy walks up to me and he's eyeballing me. I'm like, He's like, watch your videos. I was like, oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh,
So
good.
I don't know if you're watch live streams or anything, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it seems like about every time I go up to Tallahassee, I run into somebody. So
Yeah.
it's either Lowe's or
Great.
somewhere in the hardware store,
Yeah,
or somebody come
definitely
down the
Lowe's.
aisle and I'll hear, hey, I'm like, hey.
Definitely Lowe's. But, I was kind of bummed to see how many comments there were on the expo about
Yes.
how many people showed up and either, missed us or were at a different booth or
Well,
a
I think
different
some of them are
day.
on
A
a
lot of
different
them
day.
were different days. So sorry for those of y'all that we missed. I mean, we would have looked forward to meeting everybody
Yeah,
that would
because
have
we were
came.
at the Solus booth for what, 3.5
We
hours,
were.
and then we were at the Grasshopper booth for 3 hours.
Yep. I mean, we scarfed down a lunch probably less than 30 minutes and ran straight to
Oh,
the
probably about 3 minutes.
Yeah, and ran straight over to the grasshopper booth, got there right at 12.
Yep, and there was already people
So,
there waiting on us, which was
yeah.
awesome. So yeah, we did
We
meet
met
a
a
lot of
lot of
people.
people at the bathrooms.
We did. First thing that morning, we walked in and went straight to the bathroom, and we're just, hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey. A weird place to meet, but I guess we can tell everybody next year, we'll meet you at the bathroom.
Bathrooms.
So yeah, I hate that we
Oh,
missed quite a few
there's
people.
the hummingbird again.
Is it?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what that was. All right, I better bump the camera up too. Boy, it's getting dark early now. I like it. The seasons are changing. Speaking of the seasons changing, what's it in 2 weeks
Yes.
or 3 weeks?
November the 3rd.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Yep. Time changes. We are going to be changing the live stream to 5 p.m. every single Sunday. We do this every year where we fall back because it gets so dark so early. We try to get out here with a little bit of daylight. And plus, when it gets dark early, a lot of people go to bed earlier for school and everything else. And we don't want to be out here, several hours after dark. So we will be moving the live stream back to 5 p.m. And we'll do that the rest of the winter until spring forward. So we got to keep reminding everybody of that. So Anna says romaine lettuce is not empty of nutrients. Awesome. Well, then we're going to eat some. And that's what we got
Yes, it has
inside, some
some, but
romaine.
iceberg is, I think, the one that does not have any nutrients
And we're
whatsoever.
trying to get some romaine this week. We're going to start planting some outside, which I guess I
Yes.
could do some of the hydroponics as well. I could pull those back out. Uh-oh, Cash says, got to go. Got to get the wife's car fixed. Cash is
Uh,
always working on something. Always.
Hope you get it
Just
fixed, Cash.
Yeah, Miss Lee says you're always fixing something. He is. He's working on equipment or cars or the water heater or something. He got something going on
Mhm.
every weekend. So John says hello to the Kelleys and all the outdoor life fans from Osceola County. Hello, John.
Hello.
And what Andrew and Sankey says, what is the brand name of your weeder? I'm assuming you mean weed eater
Yes.
that you was using in the video. So my string trimmer, weed eater, whatever name you want to call it, I call them both, is the Husqvarna 320 IL. Good model. You can pick them right up off of Amazon. That's where I got
Do you
mine.
want to type that into the chat so that he can see it?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
I could take a little bit longer to go find the link, but I don't want to pause too much. So here is the model number of it. If you get it off Amazon, uh, go use our Amazon store link. We'd appreciate you. But I love that
Do
weed
you not
eater.
have it in the Amazon store
I did
presently?
Amazon. I got, well, when you go to our Amazon store, heck, I'll give you that too. I always save that. If you go to our Amazon store right here, I've made a video on it, a review
Yeah.
video. So if you want to see some more stuff on that, and that actually would credit us if you bought it through there. But go shop around too. You may find a better deal somewhere else. We're all about people doing that. Love that thing, man. It runs. She mainly runs it now because she does
Mhm.
most of the yard work now that she's home. And what do you probably go weed eat for 30 plus minutes?
Probably about an hour.
Okay. And
Yeah.
she does that on the smaller batteries, and it doesn't die on her unless I don't have it charged up.
It's
And
about 45 minutes
yeah,
worth.
if you run a bigger battery, she could probably go do all that twice. That's a heck of a lot of string trimming on a battery trimmer to not have to be swapping batteries out. So
Yeah.
we absolutely love it. So Tripping says my mother-in-law was 90 years old when she discovered she was allergic to peanuts. She had eaten them all her life, but had extremely bad headaches.
Golly.
Peanuts were the
Jeez.
culprit. That's the cool thing about this diet. If you clean yourself out and really just only eat just meat and a few things, and when you start adding stuff back, you can see that some stuff's mild reactions to you, some's large, but the way
Mhm.
you put it all in your body, you might not know. Now you can start figuring out things that really bother you. I haven't figured out anything personally, but we haven't added a tremendous amount of stuff back other than the normal stuff that I already knew, like shrimp and lobster and all that stuff that I'm
Yeah.
like deathly allergic to. But we knew that before this diet. So John says, tried the chicken Big Mac tonight. Do not recommend it. When we seen that on TV, we're like, a
Yeah.
chicken Big Mac. That doesn't even sound good to me. Like I love the Big Mac sauce. I don't eat those things, but I remember as a kid, and I just can't imagine chicken being. That's almost like Thousand Island or something.
Yeah.
Maybe in a salad, but I don't know about on a sandwich. But
No.
now we know.
I used to buy the sauce when we did hamburgers, and I like that sauce on our hamburgers, but yeah, we
Yeah.
don't eat at McDonald's, so
No, 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 no.
no.
Adam says, "Where's the wax and buffer? Holy moly!" I'm assuming you're talking about this slick noggin right here. I'm probably a little sweaty and oily because Tiffany and I did go for a walk before we did the live stream.
Mhm.
So we walked all the trails that we just cleared out. We'll have a little video out on that. We took the chipper and ran up and down the trails. Everybody's always getting on me. Why don't you get your chipper out? Well, we did. We spent most of
Whew,
an
yeah,
entire day cleaning
we
out
did.
just the pine rows on this side. We still got to get to this side, and oh my goodness, my hardwoods. So we just went out this afternoon because it's I would say it's cool-ish
Mhm.
and perfect afternoon to go for a walk. And we had to walk fast too because
Oh, yeah.
the mosquito cloud was behind
Ooh,
us chasing us, and if
they
you
were
stopped, they
terrible.
would get you. But if you kept walking just fast enough to keep your heart rate up, they couldn't catch you. Pam says temperatures in 30s and 40s are my favorite. I personally love like 40s and 50s for the low and no more than like 70 or for the high,
Yeah.
like 70s, 40s, 60s, 40s. Oh, that is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. When it starts getting frost, I love that for hunting and all, but it gets kind of old after a while, especially having to put on all
Yeah.
the extra clothes.
Well, and covering up all the plants and uncovering them, that's
Yes,
a lot.
that gets old too. So the oak tree behind us, time will tell. It's still got a lot of broken dead limbs in it from the hurricanes, so we don't really know if it's dying on us or not. I've got the tree completely sealed up, got a trough cut in it to run the water out. It's just going to be one of those things we'll find out next spring. It's still got a lot of cracks and big crevices in it. I'm talking huge ones that I just realistically don't think you could seal up. And if you did, they go so deep in the tree, I think you would force it to hold water then and rot out quicker. We're just going to see with time. But this spring, we are going to go. There is the hummingbird.
That was
The
funny.
hummingbird. So we've got a DSLR camera right here. There it is.
Let's see if it'll land on my finger.
So it just went up to the screen that's flipped out on the camera, and it was just all over us on the screen, but didn't quite make it to the lens of the camera. We've been
I think
invaded.
it really enjoys the eucalyptus spray that we
Yeah,
put
we
on.
spray a lot of that
Yeah.
out here. But anyways, back to the tree. Time will tell. We really don't know, but we have tried to do something to save it. Um, what would be the best axe for splitting oak? Says Manuel. I have tried some axes, definitely not all. I'm a huge Fisker's axe fan, and I recently got the X27. That's their longest splitting axe. I need to try that thing out. I've got the X25, which is really good for a short person like me. But if you really want a lot of speed for splitting something like oak, that X27 seems to be the most popular splitting axe out there. At lifetime warranty, you can't hardly break the handles. And as y'all seen on the channel, thanks to Mikey, I've got everything Fiskars owns except the X27. And I decided to buy one a little
Yeah.
while back when they went on sale. So I need to try that out because occasionally I'll get out there and split by hand. It's really good exercise. But when I'm needing the firewood, oh no, we're firing up the log splitter and just going through that stuff. That would be the one I'd recommend, the X27 unless you're really, really short. And that may be feel a bit long for you, but still a lot of people swing that axe. Okay, there was one. Oh no, I lost all the lost all my comments. Okay, Dino wants to know about the chickens.
They're doing good.
Giving his
No
weekly update.
changes. I am a little disappointed I'm only getting 2 eggs a day after they're outside and, foraging and getting sun, but I don't know.
That's the way it was last winter,
Yeah.
and then they just recently molt. Some of them molted
There
because there
I
was
think several of them are now. There are
right.
so
There's
many.
feathers everywhere, so they don't produce eggs when they're
Yeah.
molting. So that's
Yeah.
normal, and that typically happens around this time of year. But that's okay. So if I ever met Andrew, I'd give him a beanie for his head, says Chris. Well, we've already had some viewers. Miss Rebecca made us
Yes.
some beanies, and I've got definitely
Mhm.
got a pile of beanies. I love wearing them when it's cold, but man, my head gets hot quick. So you'll come out in the morning, frost on the ground, I'll wear one. Seems like it isn't 30 minutes later. I'm like pulling it off because man, those things will make you overheat. So Mr. Mike says, question, when are you getting a new tractor? So Mr. Mike, spoiler alert, there's one here right now. I am waiting on a drive shaft for it to connect the mower up because that's what I really need to do. That field is crazy thick. I've never went this long without mowing it. So we're going to be using it to do that. We're going to be using it to mow the food plot. We're going to put the disc behind it and do that. And this is kind of a demo for me. I got, remember that big 75 horse gigantic tractor that I showed on the show video? Well, they sent it down, asked me if I'd like to run, and I was like, sure, I feel like that's too big for what I do, but I'll absolutely try it. That thing is a monster.
Mm.
So it's sitting here right now, but I'm waiting for the drive shaft to ship in because I'm going to do a lot of mowing with it. It should pull anything I got, like it should be laughing at it. That's it's so overpowered for all my equipment, but it's going to be really nice to sit in a big tractor like that and just blow through the property. I wish I had a batwing mower and a much bigger disc, and I'd really go out there and play with that thing. The one I'm super excited about, like y'all seen on that video, is that new little basically premium model of what I currently have that has the 500-pound more lift capacity. Yeah, right at 500. That's got me excited because if I can get that with a grapple on it, I can
Mhm.
start picking up logs, doing
Ooh,
firewood,
use the
doing
heck out of it.
tree cleanup. Like I've already loved that little tractor. It's so capable, but I have wanted it to have a little more lift capacity at times. That's the one I'm excited about. I have no idea when we'll swap out or get one of those here. That's such a new model. I don't think it's currently just fully stocked in the States, if you know what I mean. But big gigantic 75 horse. I'll probably make 2 or 3 videos on that, and then it's getting shipped off to another home. That won't be nothing that stays on the property. So yeah, there's your information on that. Adam, thank you so much. He says, don't forget Zoe's court board up.
Yes, got it in the
Yeah, yep.
list.
Yeah, it's on the list of about 75,000 things. It's going to be a little while before I redo my office up there now because I'm going to be doing wood shelving that I want to make. I'm going to be building my own desks and I'm going to be rearranging all that
Mhm.
stuff. So that's definitely on my list, but it's going to be a little bit. We got so much stuff to go do at the other property now, and then I still got my big projects I want to do here. The deer blind solar stuff because that's just cool and it's hunting season. And then I want to get this big solar array done here. Most of all that I'll be starting on over the next 2 weeks. I'm reading. So Barry says, sorry I was late. Don't let it happen again, Barry. And are you having a winter garden? So good question, Barry. No. We'll do a little bit of lettuce, but we're probably not going to do the typical. We're still kind of on the carnivore diet. We still do a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do the typical green stuff this year, the broccoli, the cauliflower, the cabbage, all that stuff. And if you've seen our garden, oh my gosh.
It's a mess.
You can't even see the
Yeah,
garden
it's a
beds out there.
mess.
It's the worst it's ever looked. I am waiting for some when we get multiple frost days and it kills off everything out there and it
Mhm.
dries out. I'm gonna go out there and just torch the entire garden.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to protect the blueberry plants and a little bit of the grapevines, but I'm torching the garden.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so bad.
It's bad.
And my little watermelon patch is 6 foot tall and
And it
weed.
never fails every year when we try to do cabbage, the rabbits get into the cabbage so very I mean, they just tear it all up. So, I mean,
Since we're on the
that's the
carnivore,
only
maybe
thing
we
I
ought to
really
start eating some rabbits.
that's the only thing I really care about during the, winter garden is the cabbage and the
Yeah.
broccoli and cauliflower, which the dogs ate that last year, so
Yes, when we went to Vegas for that little
yeah.
work/vacation trip, whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it. Yeah, my mom and dad, house sitting and watching everything for us, and they sent us pictures. That we had beautiful cauliflower heads out there, and I love cauliflower. I'll eat it raw, don't care. And the dogs, Bullet, started eating it, instigated Ruger to eat it, and they ate an entire beautiful cauliflower head. I'm like, I don't know how
Yeah,
they didn't get sick, plugged
I
up,
don't
everything.
know.
Crazy dogs. So where was this other one here? Any news? Us, Mr. Larry changed his name. Any news on the review of the EcoFlow generator? So, Mr. Larry, the one that I currently have, which is similar to the bigger model that you want me to review. By the way, I think I've heard the bigger model. They may have one that can ship me in November, so it's going to be a few weeks. But the other model that you've already seen me hint around to on the review channel, that one doesn't launch for many more weeks, so I don't think they're going to let me put a video out on it just yet until the actual launch date, which I have to get. I think that's also going to be in November. So I don't mind sharing some information with you. I can't share all the specs and stuff until it actually launches, but I can let you know, yay, good, bad, whatever. But the one that you're really looking for that runs the big Delta Pro setup and all, I'm really hoping I get that next month. I've had so many people ask about them, and as many hurricanes and power outages as we went through, I'm kind of excited to have that here because that Delta Pro will actually run our house just fine. We just can't run. Yeah, see that mosquito, get him. Hey, don't
They're
don't
everywhere.
don't shock me.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, hey.
It's not gonna hurt.
Uh-uh. So, anyways, that Delta Pro actually run our house just fine. We just can't run the AC and say well pump at the same time. You just run one or the other. And the fact that I can then have that hooked up to a smart generator that fires up on its own, oh, I like that. But if I'm being honest, now that I think about it, once we get the 4,000 watt solar array done out here, I'm probably never going to fire a generator up again unless I just want it for the
Yeah.
fun of it, or if it's just a really cloudy day, which that happens as well. So we're going to get you that review. It's just probably going to have to be next month because I don't think I can release a video before the actual launch date. I see everybody's talking about Wendy's and McDonald's and everything else. Oh, it's Chris's birthday. Did I miss that?
It is Chris's
Well, happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris. He gave
Yeah.
his age away. He's 50.
Oh my goodness. But he acts 13.
Do you wanna bump us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting so dark. I don't know if we can turn it up much more, which that's about as dark as you're gonna get. We got all the lights and stuff on. So Tripping says it's been extremely nice here in Panama City. Cool weather all week long. Was on vacation and worked on building new storage shelves in my garage. That's a video I got to get out here before long too. I don't know that y'all are actually going to want to watch it, but I tend to record everything. But my shop is about to get flipped upside down. I caught some of those big 7 foot by 7 foot heavy duty racks that Lowe's has on sale several weeks ago, and I just went ahead and bit the bullet. I bought 30 of those big totes, and we're going to get a label maker and label, and I'm going to go through and just put metal racks across my back wall, get all this junk off the floor, and my shop's getting a revamp. And the other thing that's
Goodness.
really got my shop cluttered, y'all can't tell the reason all my tools are shoved forward because I've got 40 solar panels in there
Oh
that
yeah,
it's got to go.
getting them out.
Yep.
Yes.
So when we get that solar array done, my shop's going to get even cleaner. So I'm really looking forward to that. My shop is just as junky as it's ever been. Oh, it looks horrible. All right, let's go back up here. It shot me all the way to the bottom. Crystal says the chickens always slow down when the weather changes. That's
Yes.
what I noticed last year. I agree with you. That's just the way it
They've
is.
only been giving me 2 eggs the whole summer, it seems like, too, so,
I remember there was a time we
at
was
the
getting.
very beginning of
Yeah.
summer, I had probably 4 or 5 a day, and then
You want to know what my hunch
that
is?
only lasted, like, probably 3 weeks, and then
Well, I think
yeah.
another reason why they've been not producing well here lately is because we've been letting them out every single day now, and they're not getting as much protein. Yes, they'll go around and catch some bugs and stuff, but they've been eating so much grass and all, and a lot less feed with the protein and everything else in it. I
Maybe,
think that is impacting the egg production whenever you let them free range. Well,
possibly.
we're not letting them free range. We're caging them, pinning them
Yeah.
up. But we're letting them get out and get grass and some bugs and all. But I bet their protein intake has went down, and for sure that probably
Whew, they are
impacts them.
swarming.
Oh well, I've got my little smoke stuff going in my thermocell, but they're thick tonight. Let's see what else I was going to catch here. So when are we? So we're talking about the tractor. How many of the hours has Tiffany put on her tractor? I'll admit, Tiffany hasn't put many hours on her tractor, but what Tiffany has pretty much taken over and runs 95% of the time is our grasshopper
Oh, yeah.
mower. And I love that mower. I wish I could use it, but that's pretty much her mower now. So me and her traded. I got the little tractor back and she took my mower. That's definitely where that's up.
Somebody did ask about the, members only live stream, so go ahead and announce that.
Yep. So we are going to do that next week.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody that's members. I know some of y'all buy, a lot of y'all get gifted. Doesn't matter. We appreciate you so much, and we love and appreciate everybody that does the gifting as well. But we try to do one members live stream a month. That's going to be either next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
We will announce that as soon as we can figure it out. We'll let you know next week's Sunday live stream. But we typically just hang out for an hour and kind of. We give y'all some little behind the scenes chat and talk and let you ask more personal questions because I just can't catch everything on these live streams right now. There's just too many questions through the night, but we do the best we can. So that'll for sure be next week, and then we'll roll into the new month and lock in another date from that point on. So what are you going to do since John Deere's gone bankrupt? I hadn't heard John Deere's went bankrupt. That's a gigantic company, but I know they're pushing a lot of jobs out of the state. Honestly, we're not really going to know how any of that stuff goes until after this election. So, but right now, I hate seeing it all going. But y'all got mixed feelings. John Deere's been an amazing success, U.S. success company, but they have just about priced themselves completely out of my business. Like my tractor in 7 years now that I've owned it, it's went up
Uh-oh.
almost 50%. Oh, I cut the gas off the other day.
Oh.
Got to cut that on. But like my tractors went up 50% in just a few years. Like while meanwhile, tons of other companies still have tractors that are very reasonably priced with more features. So it's like, oh my goodness, I've got mixed feelings on it. I really do. But I don't want to see nobody losing their job. I don't want to see any U.S. companies going under. And I hate to see the stuff moving out, but it is what it is. I know a lot of them are doing it for various reasons. Um, So crystal, we have tried that, and I call that mosquito or not sugar spray, mosquito sugar spray or something like that. So you said you saw a video where you mix vanilla extract with water in a spray bottle and put it on yourself, supposed to keep mosquitoes
Hold
away.
on, I wanna pipe in on this.
Yeah, let Tiffany tried it and tell how well that worked.
So I did try it, and it seemed like the first night it worked perfect. I was, like, so surprised. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I smell like a cookie." It was
Yeah, you
really
smelled delicious, all right,
yeah,
and you turned
but
delicious.
there was no mosquitoes that night, but the next couple of nights after that, I don't know what happened, but they were all over me, and I was like, "Well, dang, that didn't really last long."
And we
But you had to spray yourself like every 10 to 15 minutes because like your body absorbed, the vanilla, I guess.
I don't think it mattered.
But
They
it didn't really work.
swarmed us, and we tried it in a bunch of nights. We didn't just try it one night, and we
Yeah.
got tore
But it
up.
did seem like the first night it worked, so I don't know.
I'm not a believer in it. So Mr. Robert says, "What was the electric fly swatter thing Tiffany just has? Does it work as advertised? I'm guessing yes. Couple or one of our crazy viewers sent us 2 of those years ago, and wanted Tiffany to pretty much electrocute me with not use them as advertised. This is back when we was live streaming in the barn over there. They absolutely do work. So whenever we got the dogs out and we're on the porch and a swarm of mosquitoes come through, we'll go run them around the dogs, and they pop like crazy, and they last forever on 2 AA batteries, but they 100% kill the heck out of mosquitoes. So if you've got them swarming around you, especially your ankles and all, running around, you'll hear it just pop like crazy, and you'll watch dead mosquitoes just hit the ground. So yeah, for sure. And it works really, really good on your spouse if they're acting up as well. Don't forget the meteor shower tonight. How did I miss that?
Oh, really?
So I've been outside the last several nights looking. You about can't see the comet anymore. And bummer, you can't see the second moon that we have right now, aka the asteroid that's kind of trapped in the moon's gravity. Just regular old telescopes or by the eye won't see it. But I had not heard about the meteor shower. Normally I get updates on that because I love anything just outer space related, anything about the cosmos. I love it. And I did finally break down and get me an old cheap beginner telescope because I've been talking about that since I was a child and finally got one at 40. And I've been outside the last few nights looking at the moon, looking at the comet and everything else. So I need to check out the meteor shower tonight. I had no idea. And there's
Well, it
not a,
depends on how late it is.
yeah, it depends on how late. There's not a cloud in sight, so we can see it. Now, we're old enough that I get excited about this stuff, but when they're like, hey, peaks at 2 a.m. or whatever, and I'm like, yeah,
I don't like it that much.
I'm in bed and I'm not setting an alarm to get up for that. So fly swatter PTSD. Yeah, let's bring back some memories when y'all constantly try to get me shocked out there in the barn.
You can turn it around there.
All right, let me flip the camera around. Tiffany's gonna do a little cooking on the Blackstone. I'm gonna keep chit-chatting, reading some of y'all's comments. Maybe I won't unplug the camera. I have done that before. Zoom y'all back out. I know y'all can't. Whoa! Just about dropped it. That would have not been funny.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, my most expensive camera. Let's dump that on the ground. I better check the battery too, because I forgot to bring the charger back out of the laptop this week. But I've got the brightness way
Yeah,
down.
if I have to go in there and grab it.
Oh no, it still says we got a couple hours of battery life. Last week I left the brightness on high and I opened the computer up way too early. So let's see what else we got. See, Miss Rebecca's on. We were just talking about you a little while ago when somebody brought up beanies. So I'm reading. What is it? Uh-oh. My chat. Trying to readjust my chat size. And I about done messed it up. All right. I don't like the way that looks. Y'all bear with me. I'm playing around with my chat box trying to adjust it. So Adam, sounds like it's chicken soup time.
Yeah, really.
No, sounds like it might be rabbit stew time, especially since you reminded me they eat our garden up. No, our poor chickens, we're going to leave them alone. They will get back to producing. They did the same thing last year. And thank you very much, Adam. We appreciate you. What else we got? Man, I basically binged your entire channel during the downtime after Helene. Thank you, says Brian. My goodness, Brian, you do realize that's what, 1,300 videos? Woo! And
Binge watch.
yeah, and I bet you cringe watch, not binge watch, because some of the original videos, oh man, horrible audio, horrible camera. Not like we're doing some nice production now, but I look at some of the older videos and I'm like, oh, you can't hear me. But that's just part of the growing pains of figuring all this stuff out. But we appreciate you watching. You watched a ton of content.
Oh yeah.
Some super boring stuff, some good stuff, some more boring stuff. It's just kind of the way it is. Bert Weeks. Hey, Bert. I remember meeting you at the show there. So that was definitely Bert and his wife is a couple we met, but he says you just need to expand your shop for more stuff. I like your thinking there. That's exactly what to do. It's not the
He
stuff.
has enough stuff.
It's not the stuff out there, the clutter that's the problem. It's just that I don't have enough room for it. So I like your thinking, Bert. Yeah, definitely a bigger shop.
I think I'm only gonna do 6, actually.
Yeah, with your applesauce
Yeah.
stuff does like applesauce.
So if y'all missed it, we are doing steak tacos, and I'm making my own tortilla shells out of pork rinds and eggs and water.
Oh, Pam, how many of our hens are silkies? They don't lay as often as some other breeds. I still don't know. We've had some people over here that know. Some tell us they're Bantams, some tell us they're Silkies. We are not chicken people. I really don't know. And I guess in the future, especially as these ladies get a little older and they're not really laying much anymore, we'll probably move into a bigger breed, an Easter egger or something like that that lays a bigger egg and is kind of more of your typical yard bird there. So I really don't know how many are Silkies. We're trying to figure all that stuff out. Let's see here. Rebecca says, "I'm so sorry, haven't been on in a while, but been super busy." That's good. That's
Glad you're
perfect.
back.
That's life. Good to have you back. Like I said, we thought about you earlier when somebody was talking about the beanie caps and everything else. That's got a point, Mr. Robert. He says if any of your birds are over a year and a half old, their production starts slowing down quite a bit.
Yeah,
I've
that's true.
that bummed me out to hear that these chickens just don't lay as long as you might think, and they
Let's just
are
let them free range and
uh, earmuffs, Zoe. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, what else we got going? Let's go swimming. Nope, those days are over. The pool is officially shut down. Of course, I'm seeing nothing but 80-degree days this week.
Yeah, we thought about actually going out on the boat one day this week,
Yeah, we really probably should with as warm as it's going to be.
but
But I got
maybe
to,
do a little fishing or something.
yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should. But got a million other things to do. Um, Chris says, I'm glad to know about the water vanilla thing. No, go ahead and try it. Let us know how it works out. I call it sugar water, so it's pretty much what it is. Oh,
It might work for your mosquitoes. Ours are
maybe. Ours loved it.
we just have so many over here.
I'm reading. Y'all bear with me. How's Ruger? Is he completely healed? Ask him. So Ruger is
I
apparently.
put him inside.
Oh, I'm about to say, is Ruger passed out? I don't know where the heck
No,
he is.
I put him inside because the mosquitoes were getting him. I looked over and he was getting tore up. So
Yeah, and all the people
yeah,
that used to tell me, "Oh, he'll eventually be inside." Well, part of the time he is now. That somehow's worked out. So yeah, from his surgery and all, he is completely healed. We're still having some skin issues with him, which has been all over the
yeah,
place. Even we changed his food a while back, but his stomach didn't like that, so we're back on a food that both dogs like. He just has allergies. We take him to the vet, and they're like, "I'm sorry, but that's kind of common with labs. He just has seasonal allergies. When we get in the dead of the winter, no skin issues, no allergies, no problems. You get to spring when there's things start blooming, the grass is out, and there's pollen, and it starts up and runs all summer long. I guess that's just going to be part of what he is. That's just his breed, I guess. But our vet acted like he sees labs all the time with skin issues and allergy issues. Glenn says, "How about those Florida State Criminals? Y'all have exported a QB to Southern Miss, and now we have the same record." Glenn, I got to where I don't even really want to watch that much anymore. So I did watch the game Saturday night, but it's been a horrible year for me to start slipping back into football. I've just been finding other games that are more exciting and watching those. Definitely not looking like a good year. So did I get the new saw yet? Yes, Jeremiah, I did. And I ran it for the first time yesterday, cutting up some cherry. I'm starting to get loaded up with cherry, y'all. And I got a viewer and a friend that's offered me a really nice cherry tree that's already mostly bucked up that I got to go pick up. So we're about to be splitting several cords of cherry. I've got to edit that video. That may be out Tuesday. Y'all, that saw is perfect. I should have did that a long time ago. I'm about to wear that thing out with all the storm cleanup and cutting and everything else that we have to do. So very, very pleased with that saw. But I already knew it was going to be awesome. My 20-year-old saw is getting wore out. I'm gonna rebuild the clutch and a few other things on it, but you can tell it's so much weaker than this new one. But it's not like I haven't got my money's worth out of that other one. So Dustin says, I did go swimming today. The weather was great, but the water was cold.
I bet.
I exercised to warm up in the water. Uh, you probably are somewhere even cooler than us, but when that pool starts dipping in the 70s, the water temps and all, it didn't feel good at all. And then I don't know what it gets to in the winter.
Polar plunge.
Yeah, 50s, 60s. We might have even had some pool temps in the 40s last winter when we had a bunch of frosty days. But regardless, when it starts getting in the low 80s and out of the 80s, I know that sounds perfect, right? Not with water. And I'm pretty sure we're in this, we got to be in the 70s now because we had some 30-degree days this week. We could be even colder than that. I really don't know. I haven't paid attention to it. Reading. Time to build a much larger shop, says Tripping. I agree with you. But I'm going to need to borrow the money from you because we are stretched thin right now with all this other stuff. So I'm going to need y'all to cover that shop building. We'll go ahead and just bulldoze that and put a massive, let's do like a 60 by 100 out there. That sounds pretty good.
Clean it out. You'll be fine.
All right. Oh, it just shot me all the way to the bottom again. So question, we lost power for a couple of days with Milton. What size generator do you think I need for a small chest freezer, a fridge, 15,000 BTU window AC? Need one, but can't spend too much. Go ahead and get you something in the 3,000 to 4,000 watt range. You can pick those up dirt cheap from places like Harbor Freight, or you can get them shipped straight to you from Amazon. Like my first 3,000 watt generator, which I still have, by the way, was $199. Now that was years ago. I don't think they're much more than that now. You could get away running a smaller one. The problem is when you're running one of those and then a compressor kicks on, it's going to have a high surge and it's going to trip your stuff out. I would say you for sure want to be in the 3,000 to 4,000 watt range. And if you'll go look at like Harbor Freight, their Predator generators, Harbor Freight's not known for making quality stuff now, but their gas engines and generators seem to have excellent reviews, and everybody I know that has them, very, very happy. Here's the other thing you need to start doing. Start checking Facebook Marketplace, because I have noticed in our area now that everybody's got power back, people are dumping generators like crazy on Marketplace.
Yep, wanting their money back.
Yep. I'm a bit nervous about buying somebody's generator on there, and maybe they didn't change the oil, maybe they run the stew out of it. But being the area that you're in, you're going to see them for sale dirt cheap here once power starts getting restored, and that may be worth your risk to go pick up a used one, because there's a lot of them on there still in the box, brand new. People are just wanting to get their money back because you can't return generators. So I would really, especially if they've had fuel in them, I would start checking Marketplace. But get you something 3,000 to 4,000 watts, and you'll pick it up real cheap. Yeah, Tripping says we got to go fishing and put up a new video on the outdoor channel. We do need to. We absolutely need to. So are you making redneck pancakes?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Those don't taste like no pancakes. They might look like them. But did you tell them what that is?
Yeah, pork rinds, eggs, and water.
That's it.
Blend it up.
And that all fits in your carnivore diet. It's way healthier than carb-loaded,
Yeah, and they hold together really good once they're cooked.
Yeah.
And
I
you can
guess you could
hold
put
'em up.
syrup on them and
Yeah,
trick yourself into
Yeah.
eating a pancake.
if you're wanting pancakes, I guess on this diet, I guess it would work.
Oh. Y'all deserve a day on the boat. Leave the camera at home, says Matt. Well, we haven't recorded y'all nothing on the boat in a long time. Now, don't get me wrong. We go on the boat all summer long. We do, but it's typically swimming, hanging out with friends, cooking out.
And then we definitely don't record that.
Yeah, we're not recording that. That is our day off whenever we do that. But fishing, we typically do try to record. Okay, Brian says, no, I didn't watch near your 1,300 videos, but watch close to 100. That's still a heck of a lot of videos. Stumbled across your channel when looking for solar information after I was knocked off the grid for a week, and I was hooked.
Oh,
I learned a lot.
awesome.
Well, you're
Good
about
to
to
hear
see a
that.
lot more of that because we've been knocked off the grid 5 times in the last 13 months. Most of it storm related, and then there was one night, just beautiful night like this, and bam, there goes your power. The problem is after you get all these hurricanes and stuff through, like we've just been hit back to back to back with, you've got dead trees, leaning trees, and they just come down at any random time, and there goes your power. But usually when that happens, you get it back pretty quick. But when you get these hurricanes in, yeah, it could be a week, 2 weeks. You just don't ever know. And then you look at the North Carolina situation. Some of those people could be months. That's just it pays to be prepared. People get so nervous when you talk about and say the prepared word. A lot of people think, oh, you're talking doom and gloom or World War III. We're not talking that. We're talking about this unexpected stuff like what just happened. That you just who would have ever thought, right? especially up in the Carolinas and Tennessee. That's the kind of stuff I like to be prepared for the hurricanes and all this other mess. You just don't know. So, hello from Hamilton County, White Springs area. I
Hello,
know it. He
hello.
says it's been nice, so nice and cool over here. Love sitting out on the deck looking at the super moon. That moon has been awesome the last couple
Mhm.
nights. I've been out there looking at
I
it.
know. I'm just sitting over here, just enjoying the fire, and Andrew's at the telescope the whole.
Is I mean, the craters on the moon, y'all, are insane. I didn't realize how big they were until you're staring at them through a telescope. That poor moon has been hit what looks like about a million
Yeah.
times with meteors and everything else. Like, oh my goodness, it looks like a golf ball. So Greg says, I have a 7,500 watt that'll pretty much power the whole house. Yeah, that's a big generator. So it never hurts to go bigger than you need with the generator, but you got to keep in mind that does use more fuel. So it is smart to size your generator accordingly, but always go a little bigger. But don't just go get a massive one if you don't need it for running small appliances, or you're going through literally gallons upon gallons of fuel a day, and that stuff's hard to find after a hurricane. It really is. So our 9,300 watt generator for sure runs our whole house. I can run a 240 volt well pump. I can run our central AC. I can do all that at the same time. But what y'all got to keep in mind too is hoot owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like somebody's hollering at us, but it's hoot owl. What you got to keep in mind is central ACs. A lot of y'all's typical houses are running 3, 4, and 5 ton AC, much bigger than ours. That may be where you have a problem, but a lot of people want generators for saving food, running a little window unit, turn on the TV, charging phones, running fans, all that stuff. I completely understand. CPAPs and all that stuff's pretty low power pull. So, how many years have we had the current chickens? It's been about a year and a half, right?
Um, about a year and a half,
Yeah, yeah. All right. So
I
Chris said
think.
the norm is to get a new flock every 3 to 4 years.
Golly.
Yep, I guess we're gonna have to work on that. Man, what do we do with the other one?
No.
We're definitely not keeping pets, that's for sure. All right, I am way behind. I got to jump down and catch some more comments here. So, Miss Lee, no, 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 no. You really don't need to be doing that. But golly, thank you so much. She says shop expansion or whatever you need.
Thank you, Miss
Miss Lee,
Lee.
first of all, I know you got a lot going on, but thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank
Well,
you.
well, I tell you what, we actually are doing another shop. So we'll put it toward that. So, but it's not going to be like what you're thinking. We're going to put a little pole barn up over at the other property so we can start, leaving equipment there, or if we're over there staying, the boat can go under it, things like that. And we'll probably be doing that pretty quick because I will need to be storing even lumber and building materials for the cabin build and all that stuff. So that's something we'll work on very, very soon. So I appreciate you so much. Oh, thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Miss
much.
Lee.
So 400 by 400 foot workshop with door, says Lauren. Probably would never outgrow that one. Hey, goodness. Thank you. Thank you again, Miss Lee. I see everybody punching in. So Pest Hunter says my Predator 9000 been wonderful over the last 6 years. I am very curious about their big inverter Predator generator. I mean, again, Harbor Freight's always been known for very cheap stuff, but whenever it comes to anything gas engine wise that they have, those things just seem to last, and they're so affordable. Spoiler alert, which not like anybody's going to get excited about this, but Harbor Freight's one of the runs that I had to make today because they were holding me. I went ahead and got a 4 gallon a minute 4,400 psi pressure washer with a Predator engine. I was dead set I was going to get like a Simpson with a Honda engine and all that stuff because I need to ramp back up my fire pit and welding business, and I've been struggling to find a way to strip paint. And whenever I seen how affordable theirs was, you just 4 gallon a minute's like professional grade stuff. Huge. That's huge. Not what a typical homeowner needs. I had to go there and get it, and they were about sold out, but they did hold me one. So probably tomorrow, I've got a new wet blaster in, like a more professional looking one, and you need higher GPM flow for it. And I can run that coarser grit blasting media. I think this is the answer to the problems I was having for stripping paint and speeding up my production for my little side welding business because I've still got a wait list like crazy. I've already been building some more fire pits off camera, but I've got such a long list. I got to keep going, and that's part of how we make some additional side income and all. But it was dramatically slowing my production down, not being able to strip this paint off. And I think I just answered that problem today. That pressure washer is a beast. and I hope it holds up, being it is Harbor Freight, but it looks good. So, Mr. Jimmy, those cobalt boxes that was under the chop shop, those are those racks I was just talking about. Those are my big 7 foot by 7 foot steel racks. Like I said, I caught those on sale. That's going to be part of our shop revamp out there and cleaning up so I can get back to doing some projects and making some videos and get all that junk out of my way. Yes, they do, Mr. Morris. They do. Uh-oh. Anna says my screen's freezing and buffering. I'll see you. I think that might be just you because I'm on fiber and I checked it before we got on and I was getting some really, really good speeds. And my latency and all was really good too. Yeah. Oh, who was that? Yeah, Mr. Jimmy, I agree with you on things absolutely need to change. Yes, Crystal, I got that telescope. I got what's it called? The company Celestron or something like that. They make really good telescopes, but I got like their entry level one. And the main reason I got it, if you look at the cheap telescopes on Amazon, the kitty stuff, which is kind of the range I'm in, they just have regular tripods, like camera tripods. This is the first one I can get into without breaking the bank, and it's got full adjustability for tracking. And you got to have that because even when you're looking at the big moon right there, it's literally flying across your telescope lens, and you got to adjust and follow it because everything is just, we're all out here in space flying around and moving. So Bobby says, I like your temporary wood storage build. Yes, I thought that was an awesome little project, very affordable. And the cool thing is, next time it floods over there, it's going to happen. I can just go pull the wood out. We can pick that up and we can move it to high ground. Like it's super easy, simple to move. We'll build something more permanent over there after the building's in place and after the cabin's there.
You
right
want
now,
2 or 3?
Two's fine.
Okay.
The cabin, all that's got to be in first before I'm going to go putting anything permanent on the property.
Guess we can always make another one if we get hungry.
Yes, we can. I'm not starving, but I'm definitely going to eat some of those. You know how much I love them. So Kevin says I have the Harbor Freight 8750. It's now discontinued, 4 years old, and I use it at least once a week because my shop's in the woods. Yeah, that's a pretty good bit of use then. And it was cheaper than running power to it. Just about everybody I know with those, they just last, no problems. I'm sure there's some people that's had problems with them, but they always seem to be really, really reliable for as cheap as they are. So Mr. Roberts says I installed a soft start on my 310 AC and my EcoFlow Ultra will run it, and everything else couldn't be happier.
Nice.
Yep, that's awesome. Soft starts are key, y'all. So hard start capacitors on big well pumps, soft starts on your AC units make a huge difference on generators, especially undersized generators, which that Ultra is not. Starting up and running that still. That is key. A lot of people don't know about the soft starts. Is there a Papa Murphy pizza in your area?
Never heard of it.
Never ever heard of it. And if so, can you do a meat lover's cook on the big grill? We do need to. It's been a while since we've fired up the big grill and did pizzas. We did do that many, many weeks ago. That's the only time we've done it since we've been on the diet. We had a cookout with some friends.
Yeah.
And we did a heck of a meat lovers. Oh yeah. So we will do that once we start kind of introducing some of them cooking nights back
do a
in.
really good meat.
We'll record that because we've had quite a few people ask us about some of the cooking stuff.
Now that it's cooling off again. Yeah.
So Manuel, another good brand. Again, you said you want something affordable, so I'm not going to tell you like the big name brands, the Hondas and all, because they're not affordable. But another very popular brand that's affordable, kind of like the Predator, Champion. I have had a Champion generator for, oh my goodness, 7, 8, 9 years. My big one runs great. I mean, runs great. Most people I know with Champion products have excellent life out of them, and those are also very affordable as well. So if you're on a budget, that'd be the next one I would recommend. When you start getting into the Generacs, which I personally don't feel like are much better in value than some of those, just where the engines are and stuff's manufactured, those start getting a lot more expensive because they have a very popular name and brand very well. Durostar, that's another very, very popular kind of like entry level affordable one that seems to have really good reviews. So look into those as well. But I've never run one of those, so I'm just going by based on the reviews and how popular they seem to be. So Eric says, "What do you do with the old chickens? Freezer chickens." Yeah, that I mean, the very well may be what happens. They're not just going to turn into pets, that's for sure. Glenn says 4 gallons a minute. Wow, yeah, that's what's more important. A lot of people don't realize that with pressure washers. They always look at the PSI. It's the GPM. Like that one that I have, my gas one now is like a little over 2 GPM. Well, I just went to 4. It's this is going to move an insane amount of water, and as a result, it's going to move a lot of blasting media. That's what I really need is GPM more than pressure. That also means now with us having 1,300 square foot of porches, I can get a really big surface cleaner now that I have the flow to run it, and we can knock out this porch much quicker than we do with the other one. Although the other one's been great, it takes a long time to clean this porch. Now, the few times a year we do that, oh yeah, we're absolutely going to be covered. So Mr. Mike says, "Have you sold any firewood yet?" Yes, I have, and I truly believe it was to a member, and they might be watching this because they've treated me very well. So we've only sold just a couple of bundles right now, but they overpaid me on purpose, and I appreciate them if that person's watching, or they probably got out there and seen I'm only charging $5 for a big bundle. It's
Right,
like,
was
oh,
like, "Oh, this
that's
is
way too
different."
cheap. So they did tip me, and that's awesome. If stuff like that happens from time to time, I will always keep the prices dirt cheap just because that's paying it forward, man. And we appreciate that.
All right.
You gonna
Here's
show it?
our steak tacos on our carnivore tortillas.
Yeah, it works.
They're delicious.
They are. They are really, really good. You can't go wrong with shaved steak. All right, we'll catch one more of these questions, and then we've been chatting about an hour. We'll wrap this thing up because I'm gonna eat.
Oh, it's hot.
Mr. Robert, I do know what that cake is. You got to be kind of country for that.
Yeah.
So we'll go with this one. Since we do generators in preparation on the channel, Pest Hunter, we'll wrap it up with this. So the secret with all generators is break-in period and keeping up the maintenance. So you definitely, I mean, break-in period on any of those engines is okay, but your typical air-cooled engines have very loose tolerances. Um, so I'm not so sure break-in is unbelievably critical, but I do agree with you. Break-in is a good thing. Where people really, really, really mess up on generators, I see this all the time. I'll hear people bragging, "We were out power for 2 weeks and I run my generator 24/7 around the clock."
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, that makes me cringe every time I hear that.
Yeah.
Air-cooled engines burn oil. Like mine even had a big sticker on there. If you don't check the oil within 8 hours, they void warranty. I don't know how they know that. You have got to stop and change the oil in these. They run extremely hot, which breaks down your oil quicker, and they use oil. Almost any cheaply built, just loose tolerance air-cooled engine will do it. That is the big thing. Constantly keep you plenty of oil. Everybody runs out and a hurricane's coming. They just buy plenty of gas. They forget about the oil, and then they'll run the heck out of these things, and they never shut them off. By the way, I wouldn't be refueling with it running. They need a cool down period. I personally feel like you got to change your oil. You for sure got to be checking it, but you really need to change it. So that's the big mess up I see. That's what also makes me a little nervous about buying used generators as well, because I know a lot of people don't do that. They absolutely do not. So all right, Adam, yum yum, he says. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Adam.
much. We appreciate you. So thank y'all so much for spending your Sunday night with us. We'll be doing this again next Sunday, and we'll have just another smorgasbord of content out this week. We'll throw a few sneak peeks and stuff out to some members here. Y'all don't forget, we got a lot of people going through a lot of stuff here. Reach out to them, support them.
Absolutely.
In our YouTube family here, y'all are obviously all part of that. So we love and appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of our lives and allowing us to do this. We don't take it for granted. Good night. God bless.
Good
We'll
night.
catch you on the next one. See ya.